Biden's top campaign officials will meet with Senate Democrats this afternoon, perhaps trying to persuade them that he's going to stay in. Senator Ted Cruz, Republican from the great state of Texas, joins us now. Mr. Senator, is Biden going to bow out gracefully, or is he going to be forced out?
Stuart, I think he's going to be forced out. I put the odds of Biden not being on the ballot in November at about 80%. I think the Democratic Party is freaking out right now. I think you're seeing senators, you're seeing House members, you're seeing the New York Times, you're seeing NBC News, you're seeing George Clooney in Hollywood. And it's worth noting why they're freaking out. Listen, they've all known for 6 months, for a year, for longer, that Biden's mental capacity was severely diminished, that he was not up to doing the job. But they're not worried about having a commander-in-chief who's not capable of fulfilling the responsibilities. The only reason they're panicking is because they now realize the American people have seen that, and they're terrified that he's going to lose in November. And so now they're willing to dump him. I put the odds at about 80% they dump him, and if and when they dump him, I think their replacement nominee will be one of two people. It will either be Michelle Obama or it will be Kamala Harris. And I actually predicted 10 months ago on my podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz, 10 months ago I predicted they were going to push Joe Biden out and replace him with Michelle Obama. That may still prove to be the case.
You see my eyes widen when you said that, Michelle Obama. I'm a little surprised there. You've seen the Axios report that Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is, quote, open to dropping Biden as the nominee, despite insisting in public that he's for Joe. What's the gossip in Congress about senior Democrat leadership? That they really want him out?
Look, every Democrat senator, every Democrat House member, they're only concerned about self-interest. They're only concerned about politics. The reason they're freaking out is they realize it's very hard to elect someone as president that the voters know has dementia. That's a political problem for them. I got to say, it's disturbing. Not one Democrat has said, well, why is he serving right now today as commander-in-chief? You know, you look at the White House press briefing where Karine Jean-Pierre was asked, okay, so he's only available for a few hours in the afternoon. What happens if a nuclear weapon is launched at America at 11 o'clock at night? And the White House's answer was, well, he has a team that can deal with that. You know what? Yeah. It is the president's job to deal with that. It's the commander-in-chief's job to deal with that. And not a single Democrat has said, you know, he's so diminished, he doesn't need to just not be on the ballot. He needs to step down, or they need to exercise the 25th Amendment and remove him.
The press conference tonight, 5:30 Eastern, we'll cover it. Is this a breaking point for the presidency, perhaps?
So, look, I think it's one more straw, but I already think he's toast. I think the Democrats are in full-on panic, and I view this as largely inevitable, that they're moving towards dumping him, and realize they've got a combination of two things. They've got, number one, the severe mental diminution of the president due to old age. But they've got, secondly, a set of policies they can't defend, including, number one, their open borders, which are an absolute disaster. And as you know, every week we are seeing somebody else killed, another child raped from illegal immigrants crossing the border. In my hometown of Houston, Jocelyn Nungary, 12-year-old girl, horribly assaulted, murdered by two illegal immigrants that Joe Biden released. Today, I'm introducing legislation in the Senate, the Justice for Jocelyn Act, that would have stopped this. It would have prevented the Biden administration from letting these two criminals go. It requires that anytime you have someone who's an illegal alien, as long as there is bed space, and there were over 3,000 open beds, they could have put these criminals in, but instead they let them go. It mandates instead that you lock them up. You do not release violent criminals that can prey on our children. We need to pass the Justice for Jocelyn Act to stand up for her and to stand up for the next child whose life is threatened by their open borders.
Out of time. Senator Ted Cruz, thank you very much for being with us. An important day, and we appreciate you being here. Thanks very much, Senator.